Hello, welcome to Introduction to Python Programming. In this tutorial, I'm going to talk about conditionals. Conditionals are statements only run under certain conditions. It will decide what will be the outcome based on different conditions. It helps our computer program to make better decisions. Now let's look at some examples. The most simple form of condition starts with the keyword if, followed by a Boolean condition, which is the tester. We have learned the logical expressions. This is where we can put it into use. For example, I want to check if a number equals to 0. 8 equals to 0. I end this header of the if statement with the colon. When I press enter, the cursor is automatically indented. This is where you can start the body of the if statement. The body can have one statement or multiple statements. All the statements has to be indented to indicate they're inside the if statement. In this case, I want to print out a message equals 0. Then I press enter and press enter one more time to exit out of the if statement. Nothing happens. This is because the system will look at the if statement, the header, and look at the condition 8 == 0 is evaluated to false. So the print statement is not executed. The if statement terminated without doing anything. Let's look at another example. We can assign x equals to 8 and y equals to 8. We can use the if statement, if x == y, colon, press enter. In the body of this if statement, print x equals y. Press enter and enter one more time. This time, the system prints x equals y because they are equal. This is the simplest form of the if statement. It only checks on one condition. There are some times we want to evaluate two options. Let's see how to do that. I'm going to reassign the x to the value 9, and I'm going to check the Boolean condition whether x equals y. If this condition satisfies, I'm going to print x equals y. Press enter. The cursor is indented. I'm going to use the back arrow to send the cursor to the beginning of the line. I'm going to use another keyword, else, to indicate an alternative option. Press enter. The cursor is indented. This indicates the following statement I'm giving is inside the else statement. I'm going to ask the system to print x does not equal y. Press enter. Enter one more time. X does not equal y gets printed out. Let's look at the control flow. In this situation, we are evaluating two options. The if statement is evaluating the first condition. If the first Boolean condition is evaluated to true, then statement print x equals y will be executed. Otherwise, this statement will be skipped, and the system go ahead and enter the else clause, which will print out x does not equal y. This if statement uses a if and else. It's a compound if statement. There are sometimes we want to evaluate more than two options. Let's see how to do it. In first option, we want to check whether x equals y. If that's true, print x equals y. In the second option, make sure you use the back arrow to send the cursor to the beginning of the line. We are going to use EL, stands for else, followed by if, followed by another Boolean condition. This time, we're going to check whether x is greater than y. Colon, press enter. The cursor is indented. Here, you can add the statement as the body of the elif statement. I'm going to print out x is greater than y. Press enter. Use the back arrow. Send the cursor to the beginning of the line. Add else statement followed by column. Print. We have already checked the condition where x equals y or x is greater than y. The only condition left is x is less than y. So we're going to print out x is less than y. Press enter. Enter one more time. X is greater than y gets printed out. Now you can see with conditionals, our program can do more useful things. It's worth to save your code into a separate file. Let's start a new file and save our code as a function so we can reuse it. We are going to name our function as compare underscore numbers. It will take two numbers as parameters. Let's name the parameters as num1, num2. We end our function header with the colon. Press enter. And let's add the function body, which is the compound if, else statement. If, and inside, we're going to compare num1 and num2. Num1 equal num2, print num1 equals num2. So basically, I'm just copying over the if-else statements I have done here. Okay, I'm done. Now, go ahead and save your file. Save it as compare numbers.py. Save. Now I can go ahead and run the module. Alright, this module is loaded. I can call the function compare numbers. I can pass two numbers, 8, 9. Press enter. Num1 is less than num2. I can create variables of different values. X equals to 6, y equals to 5, and I can call the function compare numbers, and I pass x and y as arguments. Num1 is greater than num2. Now let's walk through our code one more time. In our function compare numbers, it takes two parameters and checks three different conditions. In first condition, it checks whether the Boolean condition num1 equals to num2 is true. If this is true, then it will print out num1 equals num2. Otherwise, this statement will be skipped, and it will go ahead and check the else-if condition, whether num1 is greater than num2. If this satisfies, then it will print out num1 is greater than num2. Otherwise, this statement will be skipped, and it will go ahead and print num1 is less than num2. Whenever there is an else statement, it has to be at the end of the if statement. It has to come last. There can be only one else statement. However, there can be more than one else-if statement. In any situation, if a condition is evaluated to true and the system executes the statements falls into that condition, the if statements terminate without any further check on other conditions. That's it about conditionals. See you next time.